goodbye, Jules. You never left me without saying goodbye.
No clues, no fingerprints, no motive, nothing.
But surely if a man was choked to death, there would be imprints on his throat.
Why in the world do you stay in this place?
We can't leave.
Honor and obey until death do you part.
I do.
Shall I telephone for the ambulance?
No. The undertaker. She's dead.
Mysterious murder strikes at the altar, and the maniac monster creeps from his domicile of death to claim the lifeless form of his latest bride. Police baffled, a public in terror, but nothing can stop this fiend on his hideous trail except a girl reporter who wages a brave, foolhardy fight against the blackest art this side of the grave.
Why have you a mausoleum in the basement? All those dead girls and that horrible dead creature.
My dear, you must have had a bad dream.
Now look, Professor, this was no dream. You wanted to see me, Reverend?
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
We are great.
We're on top of the world right now because we are in the house for the season 9 finale.
Woo! It's the finale.
When I say Finn, you say Allie. Finn.
Allie.
Finn.
Allie.
Finn
Alley.
Woo!
Woo!
It's the finale.
We're going down Finn Alley tonight.
We're going down the darkest part of finale tonight because like we always every finale we're looking for one man, and that man's name is Bela Lugosi, and so it's we got an interesting journey down finale tonight. And so welcome everyone. Welcome Kathy and Dogstar over
Good
in
to
the
see
YouTube
y'all.
chat.
Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday, everybody.
You've made it. You're here. We're here. We're enjoying this pretty like chill Friday. It's been I mean, I've been running around more crazy today, a little more like a chicken with my head cut off, but I've been,
Finding some 30s cartoons.
don't even get me started on how long that took me. Finding a cartoon tonight was something
You're
else.
rescuing this cartoon from
Yeah, the cartoons.
the depths of antiquity.
Yeah, man, especially when you're going back like into the early 30s cartoons. You're like, some of these things are in rough shape.
Yeah, you said you had to do some work on that cartoon, right?
Yeah, and full disclosure, every once in a while, I play around with some of the like, I guess, color correction. I do some color correction on some of usually the cartoons, sometimes the trailers. I don't normally mess with the movies too much. I didn't touch tonight's movie.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's good. It's just
Full
like
disclosure.
sometimes stuff is in bad shape, and like, you play around with color correction on Adobe Premiere, Lumetri Color, you can get, you can salvage some detail, and you can kind of bring some colors back and balance things out.
You said that the cartoon was really like overexposed, right?
Yeah, and
the film had been like left out in the light or something just because it was so old.
Yeah, and like the other problem was like the blacks like in the image were like really faded. So I like with this tool, and I'm getting all into the weeds, but you can take the blacks like all the way down, but then I had to do stuff with other portions to really get it.
It's magic.
It is magic. It's the things you can, and I mean, whether anybody likes it or not, AI is going to be, I mean, people have already been using AI to enhance some of these public domain films. Not any of the copies that we've watched so far, but I have seen some on YouTube that, I mean, do a pretty decent job. Thank you, Kathy. I want to make sure I'm presenting the best possible copy that I can for these movies, but and cartoons and trailers and everything. So yeah, especially the finale. Come on, I got to do it upright, right? It's season 9 finale. Okay, and you know what? This is our 90th episode. Official 90. So we get one more season, and we're at that magic number hundo. So
3-digit club.
We're getting up there, man. We're 9-0 is nothing to chuckle about.
We're old hats at watching movies on Friday.
Yeah, and so are most of our viewers. You go along on this journey with us, and this has been a pretty good season. We've had some interesting movies, but tonight, of course, like I said, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the patron saint of this show, Mr. Bela Lugosi, like we do every finale. And tonight we are watching what is maybe lesser known of these Poverty Row films. We'll get into why, but it is entitled Bowery at Midnight. And I'll go and tell you the reason why is because it's a little bit more of a crime film.
Okay.
Although the horror sneaks in there.
So what's a Bowery?
So a Bowery is, especially at this time in films, when the Bowery is mentioned, they're referring to a neighborhood in I think it's Manhattan. Yeah. It's a Manhattan neighborhood in New York
Okay.
City. So
We're in the Bowery.
right, and of course, anybody that's familiar with public domain Poverty Row films has probably heard of the Bowery Boys, who it's funny they not necessarily the Bowery Boys themselves, but another iteration of the Bowery Boys had already met up with Bela Lugosi a time before this. So we'll get into that later tonight. We'll get into all the fun. I mean, again, this comes from Monogram, which was a Poverty Row studio that Lugosi did 9 movies for. And tonight this is the 5th that he did. And we've seen 4 on this show so far. Now we haven't been watching them in order, but we've gotten into these movies and they're very interesting, but tonight's a little bit of a departure. So it's going to be good. It's going to give our boy a chance to flex his acting muscles. So very excited to see what again, Lugosi he got the opportunity to be in some crime films and play some interesting roles, which we'll talk about. Again, the finale, as we always do, we're gonna be talking about Bela. It's all Bela.
It's
tonight.
all about Bela tonight.
Well, we had, last season our minisodes were starring Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
so
he featured pretty prominently.
we basically did have him all season.
We were a little
season.
spoiled last time.
We were. So now it's been nice.
We've been a little
that-
blood starved.
We have. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Lugosi's, even in tonight's movie, they got to turn him into a monster somehow, right? The man's got to be a bloodthirsty, blood-sucking ghoul.
As long as he's just not the butler.
No, that's the great thing about these Monogram films is they spare us the Lugosi butler trap, pitfall, whatever you want to call it. It's it happened literally. The film he did before this was he was top billed, and it's a Universal horror movie entitled Night Monster, and he was just a butler, and he was a red herring,
Starring Bela Lugosi as the red herring.
Don't even get me started. It's funny because the book that I use as the source for tonight's episode of Poverty Row Horrors, of course, makes reference to that. Well, some Lugosi fans that are a fan don't like his Butler movies. It's funny. This book knows all the it's not necessarily pro Lugosi. It's not anti Lugosi, but it's also it talks about Lugosi fans in a kind of distance. But right,
Okay.
that's right, dog. So
Bogey.
so the Bowery Boys kind of had a evolution, and they started in a very serious movie in their career, and we'll talk about them later. Because we'll see a trailer with again a different iteration of it and our man. And speaking of Mr. Lugosi, Evan is getting into the spirit with the wonderful cocktail that he is bringing us to pair with the evening's film, like he always does, in a little segment which we call.
What were you drinking?
What are we drinking tonight?
Well, tonight we've got something a little bit different. So, you may or may not know that Mr. Bela Lugosi had a favorite drink, and that was the Boilermaker, which is it's a shot of whiskey and a glass of beer. I guess I don't even know. Do you call that a cocktail? I guess you can.
I guess you can.
They are going together.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of a Boilermaker, but I didn't know what it was until I learned that it was Lugosi's favorite drink.
Yeah. I didn't know that had a name. I thought that was
Right.
just, a thing. That's just a thing people get. I'll have a whiskey and a beer.
Yeah.
And I try not to read into people's, favorite drinks too much, but I do kind of. I think that maybe there's something to. Yeah. There you go, Kathy. I think there's something to like the whiskey and a beer. That's like a working person's drink. I think, and that is Lugosi. That's one of the reasons I think that personally, I kind of admire. The guy he was a hard worker. He got to do what he liked to do, and even though he didn't get I mean he's certainly famous. We're talking about him,
right?
Not like he didn't have his struggles, but he got to put in the work and do the stuff that he wanted to do. So this is pretty cool. So our way of honoring that tonight, our variation on the Boilermaker is called the Tizenij Lugosi. And
that's
of
how you
course,
pronounce that.
Yeah, of course, if you your Hungarian audience knows that means the 14 Lugosi.
Ah, okay.
So, it's a special night tonight. It's our season 9 finale,
Right.
but we haven't mentioned that it's also Cinco weekend.
It is Cinco weekend. That is correct.
So this, I'm naming this drink this because this marks it as this is a drink for tonight, or this weekend at least. It is specifically for this point in time to celebrate Lugosi and to celebrate us. So we've got the 14 Lugosi. How do we get to 14?
How do we get to 14?
With our whiskey and beer.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we've got a double shot of Old Number 7. And we've got a 0 alcohol, non-alcoholic beer. So 7 plus 7 plus 0.
There it is.
Tizenij.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
So we're
Very
going to
good.
give this a go.
Oh, God.
It's very full shot glass.
Oh, God.
And,
I didn't really mentally prepare myself for the fact that we were doing a double, really.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't even
you've
think
got a
about it.
nice non-alcoholic beer to wash it down with.
Does this need a bottle opener?
Oh, yes. Sorry, you can't just pull that off with your hands.
Some people can use their teeth. I would be absolutely terrified.
Yeah. Next time you go to the dentist, tell them or ask your dentist if that's okay, and just like see his reaction.
What do you think? My teeth are strong as
Like that's okay, right? Like just once in a while you can do that, right?
Ooh,
right,
I shouldn't have smelled it.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have smelled it.
We're just gonna go for it.
Oh, I'm not ready.
This
I'm not
is
ready. I'm not
to
ready.
Lugosi.
Hold on. I'm gonna move my mic away.
Okay.
All right.
To Lugosi, to the Scream Stream, to everybody at home. To Tizenij Lugosi. Cheers.
Ooh. All right. Ooh, you can see I'm terrible at taking shots.
Yeah, that's a lot of Jack. That beer's not bad, although I'm not sure how much of it I'm actually tasting.
It washes it down pretty well because it doesn't have that actually have alcohol in it.
Yeah,
so
I've
it's
never
just-
had non-alcoholic beer before. It's
I don't think I have either. Now that I ponder on it,
tastes like beer.
it does, but it's definitely it doesn't have like
It doesn't have the alcohol taste.
yeah and it's like an after like that's the thing if you like the taste of beer, but yeah,
It's a little different.
That's what it tastes like. Yeah, like
just
it
a little
tastes like the
different.
taste of beer, but with no alcohol. You can tell a difference. It's kind of wild.
You know what's just wild? I got carded buying this. which I thought, like, in the moment, I just thought was, like, really funny. And afterward, I thought, well, I guess maybe you wouldn't want kids buying it, but then part of me thought, well, what does it matter? Maybe kids should be able to buy non-alcoholic beer.
I mean...
Kid beer.
Kid beer, right. Exactly, kid beer. Delicious, delicious kid beer. Yeah, that's what... If these non-alcoholic beer companies really start hurting, that's what they'll do.
Yeah,
they'll
that's
start
the
marketing
angle.
to children. Yeah,
It's okay. It's non-alcoholic.
I mean, that's a natural pivot for them. It makes sense.
You know what else is crazy is that, like, these only have 68 calories, which I guess just goes to show you, like, all the calories in beer are just the alcohol.
Although it does say contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
So
kids can have a little bit.
Yeah, Evan. Why
Just
don't
as a
you,
treat.
Yeah. Just we know that this will be what Evan gives to his kids. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, there you
have
go.
fun, kids. It's only a little bit of alcohol.
and a bubblegum cigarette.
Seriously, I'm pretty sure I had a dream about going into the. Or did we talk about it? I don't know. I swear I had a dream about going into the store and getting like the candy cigarettes. Maybe just crossed my mind the other weird. Well, we were talking about the cap guns the other day.
Oh
and
yeah,
so
that's
I think maybe
that'll take you back.
Somehow it all
The cap gun and the candy cigarette.
Yeah, got me good. But yes, JEC, yes, this is. Well, we'll see. It's funny. The book kind of had nicer things to say about this movie than expected. So again, we're watching Bowery at Midnight. I haven't seen this before, so I'm going in cold. I'm very excited because I've, I think I've seen all the other ones except, I guess, there's 3 others I haven't seen. So I'm playing some catch up here. But this one, like I said, it's a departure for Lugosi because it's more of a crime film.
Okay.
Which
There's the Whispering Shadow.
Right, yeah. I mean, Lugosi definitely had his chance to play more criminal villains than like horror villains. He got that opportunity. In this case, since we're in the Bowery of Manhattan, you could say that it's a little more, it's a gangster film. You could say Lugosi's kind of gangster, which he'd played a gangster before in a movie 2 years before this. Not a great, wasn't a great performance role. Not his fault, but he's getting a chance here to really be the big bad. He's getting to really flex his muscles. So
What's those villain muscles?
that's the cool thing about when, like, I think, obviously he didn't want to just be exclusively stuck in horror movies. So anytime he got the chance to branch out, he I think enjoyed it. So that's what we're going to see tonight is him do something a little different. Of course, we'll learn all about how this movie was marketed and received and how that kind of went counter to it. But we will see. This is different. So yeah, it's exciting. And this one, like I said, this was the 5th movie he did with Monogram. The one before this was the Lugosi movie we saw last Halloween, around Halloween time, The Corpse Vanishes. So keep an eagle eye out for a Corpse Vanishes Easter egg.
Okay, we got an Easter egg
A little
tonight.
Easter egg act. Get ready. Even though Easter's weeks past,
We're way late.
we're way past it, but
We found a rotten egg.
we did. It's stankin', but it's still good.
PU found it.
Found it. So, yeah. So this is, I think he had done like one other non-horror, like exclusively non-horror movie with the company before this, and so we'll talk about that later. We'll get into all Lugosi's. Like, we're gonna talk about the Monogram 9 tonight. That's
Okay.
what we're getting into. We're gonna talking about the 9 because hey, we don't get a Lugosi movie very often anymore. We're not swimming in Lugosi movies like we used to. So this is our opportunity to really dig into specific parts of the man's career and kind of have fun. Anything else before we get into it tonight, Evan?
So who plays Van Helsing in this one?
I'm gonna say it's probably one of the Bowery boys.
Okay.
Probably gonna like
it's all three of them in one big hat.
right. Well, technically, there were like 8 or 9 or 10.
No,
there were a
excuse me.
shit ton
It's-
of Bowery boys. So you gotta have, if you're gonna have one of them, you gotta have all of them.
It's a big hat.
Giant hat. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna roar with laughter. You gotta love these old trailers. We saw 2 other Lugosi Monogram movies that we've seen on the show before. Trailers for those in our pre-roll, so those trailers love to get ridiculous with it. And so yeah, we're about to get ridiculous with our season 9 finale. So I think without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of Bowery at Midnight right now. I love when I can tell that they're using music that's just a variation on another score that would be used in another movie.
Think there are any florists in Manhattan? A Bowery flowery?
Oh yeah, sure. I think I saw one definition of Bowery that was like a shaded,
Okay.
like leafy spot.
Okay, yeah.
We got some other act. Oh my god, they credited him twice. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, 2 parts.
That's how they advertised it. Nice dog story. Yeah, JEC Glenn. That name has popped up many times before. That was a real sound person, apparently. I thought it was a company. I think it is, but it's also. Oh. We're in the pen. Uh-oh, we're getting out of the pen. Oh yeah. I saw this escape footage already. This guy just parkours up the wall, just right out, right? Nope. Uh-oh. Bro, you better go. It's that same music. Uh-oh. He's gonna club him. Extra, read it. We don't have newspaper boys anymore. What a sad world we live in. This acrobat.
You shouldn't smoke that. It might stunt your growth. All right, you got it. Go ahead, smoke it. I'm saving it for after dinner.
Dinner?
Off.
You mean you got a place for a handout?
Sure, over at the Friendly.
A friendly what?
Ain't you ever heard of the Friendly Mission? You sure can get some swell soup there, and no questions asked.
Yeah? Well, what are we waiting for?
Come on, pal.
You had me at swell soup.
Well, there it is. Ain't it pretty? Just like I told you. Gorgeous. And the guy who runs it is a soft touch. Yeah? Wouldst thou partake? Wouldst?
Yeah, I could go for some soup.
Notice he said soup and not stew.
See the guy handing out the soup?
I call it
Who's the guy
into
who runs the joint?
the stew
I'll give you a
stick
personal
that
introduction.
exists, man.
Gee. Oh, incidentally, buddy, where you from? From? Oh, I'm a transient. Oh, okay.
Oh, good evening. I see you brought a needy friend with you tonight.
Yeah, he's a pedestrian from Pittsburgh.
You're very welcome, my friend. Here you will find food for your body, as well as comfort for your troubled mind.
Yeah, but could I have some soup?
Of course, my friend. What happened to your hand?
Oh, that's nothing. I just hurt it a little bit.
Oh, just the same, we better take care of it. Miss Melbourne, here's a patient for you.
Yeah, but what about the soup?
Never mind, there's plenty of soup here.
I need my soup. I can't miss out on
Priorities.
soup. You're gonna run out of soup.
Well, Keith.
Oh, you're in good hands.
Make it cold. Take a bowl of that soup if you don't mind.
Certainly.
Just be seated.
Yeah, JEC. It's, you know, he's definitely not, you know, at least, you know, the tomato soup isn't blood. He's saving all the blood.
See, the
for
guy that
himself,
runs this
you
place
know?
sure is one swell guy.
Yes, he is.
Most places you go to, all they want to do is save your soul.
Mr. Wagner realizes a man can
Oh, I'm so glad this guy isn't trying to push religion on me.
You
He's
bet he
just
can.
giving me soup and medical attention. That's all I wanted.
Have another bowl?
No, thanks.
Then what about a smoke? A nice cigar.
Thanks.
Come on, my friend, follow.
Uh-oh.
Help yourself.
Thanks.
What is this, like a poison cigar?
Real
He's definitely
Havana.
gonna kill this guy.
I hope you enjoy it. Fingers?
Fingers? I'm sorry, mister. You must think I'm somebody else.
Oh, no, I don't. I have known you and your work for a long time.
I tell you, you've got me pegged wrong. You got your wires crossed.
I don't think so. Don't worry. I'm your friend.
Yeah, sure.
Step into my
Secret
private office.
passage in the soup
You
kitchen.
go first. Yeah, dude. Oh, it's just
I
another
want to show you
office.
something very interesting.
This is already pretty interesting.
It's moving fast.
What about this?
Hey, that's me. What are you doing with this?
Never mind. So you are Fingers Dolan.
All right, so you know me. What's the gimmick?
It must have been very hard on you to be inactive for such a long time. But that is all in the past. I have great plans for you.
Yes, Carl.
Hello, Doc. Send Mr. Stratton up immediately when he arrives. Yes.
Is that Frankenstein?
Definitely some kind of ghoul.
Frankenstein and Dracula in one movie.
Sit down.
Uh-oh. What?
Hi, Doc. The boss is waiting for you, Stratton. Did you bring my package? Where is it?
No, I forgot to pick it up.
But you promised me. I gotta have it.
Oh, lay off, you rum-dum. Here it is.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. Thanks, Stratton.
Thanks for what? That stuff is slow to death.
No, it isn't. I'm a doctor. I know.
Doctor, my eye.
When I say
I
drug,
wouldn't
you
let
say
you beat a
addict.
good case of dandruff.
I can't get addicted. I'm a doctor.
I'm sure many things will become clear to you.
Fingers Dolan.
Tiger,
I thought you were still doing time. Glad to see you, son.
what are you doing here?
Gathering the dream.
Yeah, get the gang together.
I like to bring old friends together.
This is Bela's Ocean's 11.
Got a
Come
new
on.
moniker. There is more than a new name in it for you if you join our little partnership.
Look, you birds. I know I'm not as quick as I used to be.
But these are still quick, aren't they?
Sure.
Are we going to crack a box tonight?
Mr. Stratton, don't be so crude.
You mean you lay out a job, chase the place, and I tune the dial?
The language is rather picturesque, but the meaning is perfect.
And there's nobody like Carl for his end of the job.
How do you like that? A flop house for a blind. Well, you guys had me coming and going.
Oh, he's definitely up to something. Atlas. Wow. It's just the three of them. I'm surprised Bela went in. He is. He is in the thick of it.
Good work, Fingers.
For a minute, I thought I lost the magic touch.
How deep is this safe?
Yeah.
Fingers, it's his job. Now it's your turn, Stratton.
Fingers?
You heard what I said.
But he's a valuable man.
He was a valuable man.
Oh.
Are you guys kidding with that talk or what?
Do your job, Stratton.
But
Have
Carl,
you
I...
lost your nerve? Go ahead.
Please, please don't kill me. Give me a chance. I only did as you asked me to. I can show you how.
Dang.
Cold-blooded.
Got him. Yeah, that was rough. He made him kill his friend. Jeez. I mean, I guess you got to be pretty sadistic if you're going to be a crime boss, right? So, crime boss, mad scientist.
Yeah, some coffee, Doc.
How did it go? Did you have any trouble?
No trouble at all. Everything was perfect.
You act like there's something bothering you. Didn't you get a big haul?
I told you everything was perfect. We got a swell haul.
I still say there's something bothering you. Is it that new man, Fingers?
No. Fingers won't bother anybody anymore.
You mean to say he got rid of him without letting me have the body? He can't do that to me. He promised me.
It seems he
All
can
right.
do anything
Okay.
he pleases.
Didn't you get a big enough cut from this last job?
I'm not griping about the cut. You know, Doc, that Fingers was a good man. What's to stop him from getting rid of us in the same way?
Carl wouldn't do that. He's our friend.
Maybe your friend. Me, I'm getting fed up.
You know, it ain't healthy to talk like that.
I
Nice.
don't scare so easy. Some of these days I'm going to tail him and see what he does during the day.
A couple of men tried that before you, and now they're buried.
So I guess he took his gadgets from the wax museum.
Yeah.
Now say good morning to Mommy.
Good morning.
Go on, say good morning.
How about feeding a hungry husband?
Certainly, darling. And I have a surprise for you this morning.
And I have a surprise for you, too.
I don't know, JEC. They said he was. Fingers was a good
You
man.
finished your book?
Fingers was a good man.
Oh, another present.
To remind you of my love.
Oh. They are beautiful.
Just like you, my dear.
That's why they call me Fingers.
But they must have cost an awful lot.
No, it was a real
Nothing
steal.
is too good for you, my darling.
Can you afford to give me such expensive gifts? And so often?
To what better use could I put the money from my writing?
You should save your money. It's not jewels I want. It's you, your companionship. Frederick, I get so lonesome at times. Why do you have to stay away from me night after night? How much longer are we going on like this?
Not long, my dear. Research for my new book will be finished soon, and then we go far away from here.
Research. Uh-oh.
Good morning, Miss Spears. Good morning.
Good morning.
There's nothing more invigorating than a nice, cool drink of fresh mountain spring water.
Mr. Atlas, every morning for 3 years you start out with the same stimulating conversation. Sometimes I think I'll scream.
Wow, she's remarkably candid.
Oh.
I love how, what did we see of Fingers? We saw his fingers.
I'd know those fingers anywhere.
Those beautiful, beautiful fingers.
This series of robberies is definitely the work of a homicidal maniac. Leaving the body of an accomplice on each job proves that.
Only a maniac would do.
Some of you uniform men are up for promotion. It's up to you to earn it. As far as the plainclothes men are concerned, they better be on their toes, or they'll find themselves back in uniform. That's all.
Now go get him.
Well, Mac was sure letting off steam, wasn't he?
You ever see an Irishman that didn't? Oh, I'm
Wow.
going to be missing all this soon.
Say, you start drawing that pension next month, don't you?
Oh, do you see it back there?
I
Look.
hate to retire. Without those kids yelling cheese at the cat.
Kids. How I love them. You know, Mark, someday I'm going to have a dozen.
Yeah? Well, you know you have to get married first, don't you?
I am, if I ever get that promotion.
You will, son. You'll be a detective before you know it.
When that happens, I'm going to buy a little place in the country just like yours. Work in the garden.
Yeah? Well, you know, you've no idea how being a detective will help you catch them gophers. Be seeing you, Peter.
So long, Mark.
You gotta love the banter.
The study of abnormal psychology recognizes paranoia as one of the most dangerous types of insanity.
Perhaps Mr. Dennison can inform the class why paranoia is so dangerous.
Well, the patient suffers from delusions of grandeur. He thinks he's very important, way above those around him. He has a superiority complex.
Is that all?
What are those
No,
glasses?
it's also coupled with persecution mania, caused by an intense feeling that everyone's against him.
So far, you're correct. But you haven't explained why
His
such
professor
cases are
glasses.
dangerous.
Well, I guess it's because
looks
he acts
really smart.
logically. If you didn't study him, you wouldn't know he was maladjusted. And he doesn't hesitate to use force to assert his personality. This leads to an antisocial conduct.
Then, Mr. Dennison, I take it you imply they might even enjoy a life of crime?
We're just going all over the place, man.
How about a nice corned beef sandwich?
Well, that's
How many
the deal.
jobs
This
does
time the
this guy-
treat's on me. Goldberg?
Goldberg's
does
it
this
is.
guy have?
Uh-oh.
With that hoods Frankie moves.
Uh-oh.
Don't mind me, Pete. Get after him. He's your promotion.
Go get him. You get a Splendor.
I'm not sure.
Do you hear how exciting this chase is?
I mean, come on. I mean, the music is... That's all you need to bring the energy up.
This is triumphant. The music makes it sound like this cop's already got his promotion.
Yep, I got him.
Hello, this is Sergeant Crawford. Give me Captain Mitchell right away.
And that is going to take us to our first break. You weren't expecting it to come up that fast, were you?
No, I wasn't. So
we haven't had a movie that's only an hour long in a minute.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I was gonna say this must be a very short movie.
Yep, only an hour long. So you gotta love when you just so much happens in
We're
a 20
moving.
minutes.
We're moving on this one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lugosi's two different characters. You can tell one wears glasses, one doesn't. You know? Yeah. Well, I mean, what do we think so far?
This is all right. Pretty good so far. I mean, I'm getting Whispering Shadow vibes definitely with the crime boss thing and the like. It's got that secret screen. You can see everybody. Just waiting on the like. Oh God, what did he have? Who had the spider or the death disc? I think I'm mixing up my villains.
That was his That was the Mad Doctor in Phantom Creep.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he had the death disc. That's. Or wait, no, they had a death disc in Whispering Shadow also.
Yeah, they had. Yeah,
they had the
radio
spider.
thing.
The spider was in.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. You gotta love trying to keep track of your Lugosi like villains and all his nefarious deeds. So fun trying to keep track of it. Yeah, I mean, it's for my first time seeing it. I'm kind of surprised how much they have going on. You know, like they're setting up a lot in the first third of the movie. Got, you know, I mean, Lugosi's playing two characters, which. You know, first of all.
Yeah, what is the deal? Like, why is he playing two characters?
Not quite sure, and I don't know if the movie will even explain it. We'll see.
Okay, they're just getting double mileage out of him.
I think
the man
so.
just loves to work. Okay,
he really does. Well, and again, this was like right. This was only a few months after he finished Corpse Vanishes. He had another movie in between these two movies. And, I mean, this was all in the span of like 3 months, right? Like he was just constantly had something going. They started filming this August 3rd, 1942. And by October 1st, it was released. into theaters.
Oh my
Within
gosh.
2 months.
Oh my gosh.
From the beginning of production to release. So if you want to know these Poverty Row Monogram films, what's the turnaround time? I mean, unbelievable. We know that they only film in like a week usually. I think this one maybe went a little longer. Because they started August 3rd and by August 23rd, Lugosi was leaving because filming was complete. It's going
on to the next thing.
On to the next thing. We'll talk about what the next thing is later. But I mean, he was, he was obviously like very busy. But it is funny to see. You can tell it's a different character for him playing like the crime boss, right? He's good at it though.
Yeah, he's definitely villainous tonight, which I'm loving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he had. That's a great question, Dogstar. Right? How do they make that work in the world? Gotta love breaking the fourth wall like that.
Yeah, the both of the characters he's playing, they must get. You look a lot like Bela Lugosi. Must get that a lot.
It's like terribly offended. Yeah, that's what it was, JC. They were like on set, like, what are we gonna do? Oh, wait a minute. I just figured out how to make the movie 20 times better. We'll just say Lugosi's playing two characters. I mean, hey, sure.
Give him some Clark Kent glasses.
Right. But I mean, there are some kind of plot elements that are similar to films that Lugosi had done just a few years earlier. One was the other one where he played a gangster, I guess the Kingpin, in a movie called Black Friday, which he was paired with Karloff. It was a Universal movie in 1940. And it's funny because it's about a college professor who ends up with this Jekyll Hyde scenario where he turns into a gangster because Karloff's mad scientist has implanted part of a gangster brain into his brain.
Okay.
And so then Lugosi's gangster is trying to the dude with the crazy brain is like, the gangster is getting revenge on the people that set him up. And so it's like a revenge thing, and the college professor's like turned into a gangster, and Lugosi was apparently hypnotized for that movie, and the scene where it suffocates in a closet.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the I didn't include the trailer because I stuck with the Monogram trailers, but there's the trailer centers around the press article for this hypnotist hypnotizing Bela Lugosi. Hypnotist blah 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 is hypnotizing actor Bela Lugosi for a scene in Black Friday, and Lugosi's like sitting in a chair staring off, and this guy's like in front of him like doing some gestures.
You hypnotist.
Yeah, and then then they just cut to a clip of Lugosi in the movie just, let me out, I'm suffocating. And it's good. I mean, he's good at it, don't get me wrong. But he got some criticism for like playing a gangster, and people were also like, why are you relegating Lugosi to like the third like role in this movie instead of making him the mad scientist or the like Jekyll Hyde college professor? And apparently he was supposed to be one of those two characters, but then Karloff didn't want to play the other one. And so then they just said, well, we'll push Lugosi down to the gangster, and then we'll get this other guy to play the professor, and Karloff can play the mad scientist.
Story of his life.
So, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? But there was also another movie before that where Lugosi ran a soup kitchen, but also was like another personality or something. It's a 1939.
It was called Bowery at Midnight.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very, again, it's a similar plot. It's a 1939 British film called, in England, it was called The Dark Eyes of London. it was released by the same studio doing tonight's film, Monogram, in the U.S. as The Human Monster. And we will get to watch that. And that's more of an explicit horror film. There's like, murders and monsters and all this stuff. I mean, although we've got a body count going tonight. Let's not sell them short. They're doing some pretty good work so far. So.
Got a guy with an MO, which is always interesting for a crime story.
Right, yeah.
He leaves his dead accomplices wherever he hits. I mean, that's
his calling card.
Yeah.
I'm the dead body bandit. I had to leave dead bodies of my henchmen, and it really makes it hard probably to find help after a certain point, right? Once word's getting around that you're the guy who's killing his henchmen, I don't know if people are going to be employed by that guy.
We keep finding these dead homeless people at the scene of the crime.
Who could it be? Could it be the person that's taking in all the homeless people and not trying to push religion on them? Curious. It's interesting. And we've we've seen Lugosi. Obviously, like you mentioned earlier, Whispering Shadow kind of stretches acting muscles. He got to play a father. He got to play not really a criminal mastermind. He ended up being some kind of agent or something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It was like some kind of agent.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but Lugosi definitely knows how to. I mean, you can tell even with this, like, even though he's not playing a horror role, he's having fun with it and doing it up where he can. And if we get a shot on his eyes, then we'll know. Then we'll have to call it a horror movie, because that's the signature shot of any Lugosi horror movie. When you get when he looks in the camera and you get real close to his face.
Yeah, they better.
So the hope is that we can get that shot. So keep a sharp eye out, because maybe they blink and we miss it. Hopefully not. We'll see. Yeah, anything before we get into break, Evan?
What trailers are we watching?
So we've got two. So, like I said, we were talking about the Lugosi Monogram 9 films tonight, and we already saw the trailers for two that we have watched on this show before: Invisible Ghost and Corpse Vanishes. Both very fun movies. The two trailers for our break are two that we have not seen on the show yet. Probably watch. And again, it's also movies where Lugosi got the opportunity to do something outside of just exclusively horror, which he was itching to do at this time. He liked to not have to constantly play the bad, evil guy. Well, I mean, he's still playing a villain, I think. But the first is for a movie that he did, and this came before tonight's movie. But I think it's from the same year, 1942, and it's entitled Black Dragons. And it's actually a World War II, like, spy thriller, I guess. Okay. It's not a horror film, but it's a, Lugosi is some kind of master spy or something like that. I haven't seen it, so, it's obviously 1942. I mean, they were bound to make a Bela Lugosi World War II movie at some point. And I don't know if he's playing a German. I don't know what his role is, but I believe he's the bad guy in that. And then the other trailer is for a horror comedy that he did for Monogram with the preceding group. One of the predecessors of, still doesn't sound right, the Bowery Boys. And that would be the East Side Kids. So I think it was, let's see, it was, who mentioned it earlier? Was Dog Star mentioned that, they started in a movie called The Dead End with Humphrey Bogart, and that was like a big studio film. And I think at the studio, I think it was Warner Brothers, they made like a few more Dead End Kids movies. Like they spun them off into their own movie series, The Dead End Kids. Well, then when that ended, they got like, I guess, picked up by Monogram, and they became the East Side Kids. And at some point they were the Gas House Kid. No, maybe that was a different group. But they were something, they were the East Side Kids, and I think they were something else before they became the Bowery Boys. But at one time they were the East Side Kids when they started with tonight's studio Monogram. And again, this is a group of like 8 people, and like they made like a handful of movies as these different groups, but then when they were the Bowery Boys, they made like 48 movies as the Bowery Boys, right?
Jeez.
So yeah, so it was, they were constantly rotating people in and out of the group. Like it's absolutely insane, the turnover. But they usually had 1 or 2 consistent people in the group. And so Lugosi was paired up with the East Side Kids in a horror comedy, actually 2, but the first one was entitled Spooks Run Wild, and that's the second trailer that we've got. And it's another one I haven't. Actually tried watching it a few weeks ago. I didn't finish it. Not that that says anything about the movie. I was wondering. But that happens sometimes. Here on the show, I'm locked in. So, but this is a pretty good, like Lugosi didn't get the chance to do a lot of comedy. Like, I mean, I guess he was getting more, like he did the Gorilla in 39. He was kind of every once in a while we get the opportunity to do something a little funny, but this was definitely, a little slapsticky kind of a fun little haunted house horror comedy. So Lugosi doing his stuff like we love to see. So we're gonna get these 2 Lugosi trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of Bowery at Midnight. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Suicide or murder in the shadow of a nation's capital. The screen's master of horror, Bela Lugosi, has the answer to this mysterious death. Lugosi as the madman on a mission of vengeance. Vengeance against 6 men who plot the destruction of a country at war.
You've turned weakling, Van Dyke. We can't afford to take any chances with you.
You were both very accommodating, Mr. Ryder. Thank you. When a young woman's nerves commenced to give way, it is time she sought refuge in a strong man's arms.
I just ran into yours.
Mine might be dangerous.
Alice, you were right. There was a body in the cellar last night.
You know that?
I'm positive of it. Only there were 2 bodies.
At last we meet. And then, shall I call you Saki?
the city of the dead.
Hey, you! What are you doing here?
Now you see him. Now you don't. Hold your breath and save your laughs when Bela Lugosi, that master of horror, meets those gloom-busting East Side kids. Even a respectable ghost gets a nervous breakdown.
It says here that in the night he prowls about seeking new victims, and in the daytime he sleeps in a coffin.
Well, let's wait till daytime, huh?
We ain't waiting for nothing. We're going right now. Go ahead, open it.
Oh, you open it.
Maybe it ain't supposed to be open till Christmas.
Who are you? You don't remember me. But 20 years ago in this very house, you scared the health out of me. No!
And we are back. So this is the trailers for Black Dragons and Spooked Run Wild. So as you can see, Lugosi is having fun.
Yeah, that movie looks like it was trying to run both ways. It's mirth with murder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely pretty silly. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like, I didn't see the end, but it seemed like they were kind of setting up for Lugosi to be not a red herring, but kind of like in terms of, oh, he's not really a bad guy.
Was there a lot of murder in that kind of made it seem like there was?
Don't. I really don't think so. There's enough Bowery boys. You could have killed off a few. You could have had a few red shirts in there, but they didn't take the opportunity in front of them.
So they keep rotating them out.
And that's right, Dog Star. The Bowery Boys they met the monster. There was a Bowery Boys Meet the Monsters. They did a couple movies where they met monster, because they did 48 movies, lest we forget. So they had a few different horror comedies where they met monsters. But Lugosi, he worked with the East Side Kids, and he did another movie with them, which we'll actually trailer for later. So we'll talk about that later. But so far, we're about to get back into Bowery at Midnight, and we've seen a few other actors tonight that have popped up in some other movies. The cop that we saw, the younger cop who was
getting that promotion.
Yeah, trying to get the promotion. We saw him in a Bela Lugosi movie previously on this show. He was the hero reporter in The Devil Bat, which that was season 2, the end of season. That was the season 2 finale, I think. The Devil Bat. So, but Dave O'Brien is that actor's name. He's also very famous for really being the maddest person in the movie Reefer Madness. He is the one that is like got the dark circles under his eyes and is like laughing like a maniac, and that's Dave O'Brien. And he's also in Spooks Run Wild. So there you go. And another the nurse in Lugosi's Soup Kitchen. The character's name is Judy, and the actress is named Wanda McKay. We've seen her in Black Raven, Voodoo Man, our lost episode, and Monster Maker.
Okay.
So we've seen her a fair amount of times. The college student that was talking about paranoia. It's an actor named John Archer, who's one of the heroes in King of the Zombies, which was the movie with Mantan Moreland and their plane crashes on the island. It's a fun
movie.
We showed that recently on one of our Saturday Night Shockers. Pretty popular. And it's a fun movie. So Yeah, some familiar faces, and that guy, the criminal who was we just ended off with this criminal getting shot and on the run. That character's name is Frankie. The actor's name is Tom Neal, and he would later be famous for a film noir called Detour, which was from a Poverty Row studio, PRC, who we've seen some movies from, and directed by Edgar G. Ulmer, who we saw his film Bluebeard last season. And he also did The Black Cat with Lugosi, and so it's funny the way that like all these actors and directors and Poverty Row kind of their paths cross randomly at different times at different studios, and ends up being a small world. You know, you gotta love it. So yeah, we're but I mean all the players I think are here. The stage has been set. So we'll see what I guess Lugosi's got to plan like the big heist now,
I guess.
right? With the casino. No, he's got to figure out who's got the most vulnerable security system, I guess.
Yeah.
Got to do his homework.
I guess whatever his plan is, he knows he doesn't need a safe cracker.
Right. He knew he could rule that out of the plan pretty quick. That's right.
He's gonna feel like an idiot if he gets in there. Oh, I forgot about the safe.
Oh man, wasn't even thinking. I just didn't want to split another share with somebody.
Does anyone else know how to open a safe?
Well, you know, she uses Dracula mind powers.
Right, yeah. Doesn't even need fingers.
Right. He really doesn't. That's Lugosi for you.
Yeah.
He's really had the powers, man. Well, anything before we get into it, Evan?
I guess if they do need a replacement safe cracker, luckily that guy had a twin brother named Toes.
Oh, that's very well, dude. Fingers, man, you can't replace fingers. We already learned. And Dog Star, yeah, fingers looked like a cross between fucking Buster Keaton and Marty Feldman. He looked he definitely had a look to him for sure. So yeah, no, hopefully we'll get his twin Toes. We'll see. Fingers and toes cross. I know, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting middle of Bowery at Midnight right now.
Come in.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wagner. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh, you never disturb me. What is it, Judy?
Well, I thought I'd consult you before ordering the supplies.
If we need them, get them regardless of cost. Those unfortunate souls depend upon us. We must not fear them.
I thought you'd see it that way. I'll attend to it at once.
A small table, just perfect for me to sit by myself at.
Perfect for brooding in the corner.
You'd better let me take care of that for you.
I can take care of it.
It might become infected. Let me clean and bandage it for you. Oh, don't worry. I won't hurt you. Right this way.
Sure thing, Nurse Ratched.
She's gonna step through a secret door.
Come on. Now, if you'll just sit down here, I'll fix you up right away.
You're not gonna ask any questions? You're not gonna ask how I got this bullet wound? I mean, fell off my
How
bike?
did this happen?
The guy slashed me with a knife. He tried to take my dough.
That's too bad. this will sting just a little bit.
Pack it all into one. They, you know.
There, that didn't hurt much, did it?
One-stop finish.
Don't hurt at all, lady.
You'd never have to leave.
Very well. Let me know when he gets here.
There. There's some nice hot soup out there. That is, if you care for any.
Thanks.
Eyeballing
Bill, you and Joe
everybody.
take a look in the pool hall.
Uh-oh.
Who took my soup?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Keep your mouth shut.
Well, if it isn't Frankie Mills.
It's too bad you recognize me, mister.
What's the matter? Are the police after you?
Yeah. And you better not do anything to upset this baby.
Don't worry. I will not betray you. Yes? Who is there?
Police, open up.
Just a moment, please.
Yeah. The back room, of course.
You're safe inside here.
Well, if you open this bookcase, I'm going to come out blasting.
Good evening, Sergeant.
You make a habit of keeping this door locked?
Oh, just a precaution. You see, otherwise my guests would be all over the place. Is there something wrong?
Yes, there's a dangerous killer loose somewhere in the neighborhood.
Really?
We've got orders to search all these Bowery places.
I'd be glad to show you around.
What's up there?
Just a dormitory.
Couple of you boys see what you can find upstairs.
Is there anything wrong?
Yes, the police is looking for someone and thought he might be hiding here.
He's a young fellow by the name of Frankie Mills. About 23 years old, medium height and dark hair. Baby face.
Why, a man of that description was here a
Baby
few minutes
face.
ago.
You better not call him that to his baby face.
I popped it. I bandaged his injured wrist.
Where did he go?
Well, if he isn't out there, I guess he must have gone.
Thank you. No sign of him up there. You folks keep your eyes open. If you see him again, notify police headquarters immediately.
Certainly. I'd be happy to cooperate with the police.
All right, boys.
Hello? Yes, Mother. But I can't leave now. Well, all right. I'll be home in about an hour.
Man, what a commute.
You can relax now. Your friends are gone.
Who are you? What are you soft-soaping me for?
Because I have a proposition that I think you will like.
Let's hear it. What do you do? Make this stuff?
No. This represents the difference between my intelligence and the dull minds of my fellow men.
What gives with that?
Just my house phone. Hello? Tell him to wait. I'll be right down. How would you like to join my organization?
Sure. Why not?
My associate is downstairs. I want you
Yeah,
to
I
meet
guess he found his next victim, huh?
Yeah. Wouldn't you know it? We have an opening.
I love how it's a crime film, but it's just Lugosi being like, join my gang, and then he's killing them. Like, it's still a horror. He's got a skull on the back in the back of his wardrobe in that office. He's definitely.
I want you to meet Frankie Mills.
Frankie Mills, huh? No wonder the neighborhood is full of cops.
Yeah, Dog Star. Oh, we've just got some startup paperwork. It's going to take about 15 minutes.
I'm going to send you down to HR.
The way I like it. What are you afraid of?
Don't get gay, kid, just because you're handy with the heater.
It seems we all have our little fears. All but you, Frankie. You wouldn't believe it, Stratton, but I am afraid of you.
That's a hump.
Don't laugh. I'm afraid of you because you lost your nerve.
What'd I do?
Frankie, if you want Stratton's job, you can have it now.
Don't fall for that line of talk, kid. He'll cross you like he has everybody else.
I think so, Dog Star.
You're not afraid of him now, are
I
you?
kind of missed it, though.
Good work,
a lot of
Frankie.
talking going on.
What are you going to do with this tip?
You shall see. Take care of Mr. Stratton. Dormitory of the dead.
They had it already.
Never saw a guy with more angles.
These mildewed skeletons who sleep so quietly now were once my partners, like Stratton. Duck, how often have I told you to keep that cat from desecrating my graves?
Throwing a black cat in here just for fun.
Oh, please, not with the dead. Their work is done. Ours is just beginning. Don't take too long, Doc.
Is that guy a real doctor?
Yes. Once he was a great doctor. Now he's just a human derelict.
That's a narrow-ass staircase. Like a
Just
vertically narrow.
I'm still a great doctor. And I'll prove it.
He looks like Gargamel off of the Smurfs.
He definitely looks like some kind of hunched over villain.
Either that or he looks like he's after to kill you tall.
Save you from the dead. Then you'll belong to me.
Save you from the dead.
Please, Richard. He'll be home any moment now.
I'm about it.
Always late. Why can't you be on time just once?
Well, you know Judy's time is not her own these days.
Mrs. Malvern, when are you going to put a stop to all this? Why can't you stay away from that place?
Well, after all, Richard, you're the one that...
Tell her to stop working for the soup kitchen.
Think so?
Have it out with her. I'm certain you can prove to her which is more important.
That's
you
right,
or
Dog
that,
Star. He's got the little cat.
Carl, or whatever his name is, who runs that awful place on the Bowery.
I'll try.
Oh, Richard, you're a dear boy. Oh, it'll make me the happiest woman in the world.
Well, how's Cozy?
Judy.
Maybe I'd better leave.
Judy. I want to talk to you.
And I suppose Mother will be the interpreter.
Judy Malvern, what's come over you? Richard has been waiting patiently for over an hour to see you.
Of course, what is it?
Good night, Mom. Sit down, Arlie.
All right, Mother.
Won't you please sit down?
Oh, this won't take very long. Now, what have you to tell me that's so important?
Judy, I want you to give up that silly job. Saving humanity. It's ridiculous.
And I suppose I should spend the rest of my life on your yacht.
Wow, listen to this
Not asking
Reagan.
so much, considering that...
Considering what?
What's
Considering that I
humanity
don't
ever
want my
done for
future
me?
wife wasting her time and...
Your future what?
Mm-hmm. I practically told your mother already.
Now, suppose you be a good little boy and run along. Come back tomorrow and tell my mother I think you're both having hallucinations.
Okay. See now how you feel about it? Let's forget it.
Oh, Richard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I guess it's just because I'm so tired.
That's just it. You stop working down at that mission and take stock of yourself. Judy, do you realize you've given up your friends, your social life, everything? For what?
My offered the opportunity of helping the underprivileged. You should be proud of me for that, Richard.
Proud of you? For working in the Bowery? Well, that's no place for a girl like you.
What a dick.
And that Wagner who runs the place.
And what about him?
I'd like to meet him, that's all.
You and Mr. Wagner have nothing in common.
Nothing. Except you.
Oh, so that's it. I never thought of that.
You see, it's true. I knew there was another reason for you and Carl spending half your nights down there.
You've no idea what a mysterious fondness I have for that man.
It's no mystery to me. You're infatuated with him.
God, what a chump.
So you found out. Do you really believe that?
Sure I do. Go ahead and have all the fun you want. You and your social work.
What? What a douche.
Yeah, you really got her with that one.
You and your social work. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Frederick. Frederick. Wake up, darling.
Yes. What is?
You were having one of those horrible nightmares again.
Yes.
Is there anything I can get you? A glass of water, maybe?
Thank you. No, this. Go back to bed.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Good night.
Good night, darling.
Ladies and gentlemen.
These
Professor.
character switches.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Certainly.
Well, it's about my term paper. I suddenly realized that I know very little about real people.
What gave you that
Really?
idea?
Well, after all, you can't learn about life cruising around on a yacht. You see, I was thinking of writing on what a man thinks just before he dies.
It's very unscientific.
That's what I mean. So with your permission, I'd like to change to a paper on the psychology of the underprivileged.
Very interesting. If you feel qualified to handle it, by all means, make that your subject.
Thanks a lot, Professor.
Yeah, dog star. I've heard different rumors about.
Sergeant Crawford
this.
reporting. You sent for me, sir?
I think Ed Wood always liked to tell the story
Robert?
that he died
Want you to turn in
clutching
your
one
shield.
of Ed Wood's scripts. In his...
Turn in my
Of course he would say
shield?
that.
You heard me. By the time Johnny Martin's recovered, he'll be on the retired list. He requested his shield be given to you. I trust you know your first assignment.
You bet I do.
Good luck, boy. Thank you.
He got his promotion.
Who'd have thought yesterday that I'd be working with Frankie Mills on a high-class job?
Yes, each day brings its little surprises. I meet you later, Frankie. You know where.
I'll be all set.
Oh man, he's definitely gonna get killed. What?
You have the idea now, haven't you?
Oh, sure. We cover Frankie's getaway from here. It's a natural.
That's right.
Gee, you're smart to figure all this out.
Nice.
I'm sorry, mister. You'll have to keep moving.
What?
What?
What the shit?
What? Oh, he's
Oh
just a
my
distraction.
god, nice. Hell yeah.
That's the best. That's the best thing they could come up with to make a
Wow.
distraction.
That's a pretty good distraction.
There's no other way to
dude
do
off
that.
of a building.
Come on, move back. Move back. Keep those people
Gee,
back
you're
over there.
pretty smart, mister.
You got it all
Please.
figured out, don't you?
Help! I've been robbed.
You stay here, Jim. George, you come with me.
Well, the police were already there.
I can feel the hot breath of the outraged public on my neck. These crimes are a disgrace to the city and a menace to our citizens. You'll have to produce results or resign.
Chief is on the warpath. We've got to deliver the goods, or we'll all be pounding the pavement. I want the Bowery searched from one end to the other. Yes, sir.
So this is an interesting little uncredited part right here.
Things are
from-
sure tough, aren't they?
Well, how would you know, slummer?
You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I'm down on my
from
luck, too.
the cousin
Well, you
of
wouldn't think to look
Lou
at me that I'm rolling in
Costello,
dough, would you? Say, Bud.
Pat Costello.
Sure.
You can tell from the profile he looks like Costello.
Hey, aren't you forgetting something?
Yeah, you got a match?
Yeah. Hey, mind answering a few questions?
Why don't you run up and down Park Avenue? Go on, beat it.
Costello. He should have done some more, like, you know, some more noises and gestures. He should have hammed it up a little bit while he had his moment.
Hello, Sonny. Anything I can do for you?
Yes, I want to try that suit on in the window.
Of course, you can try it on, but not in the window, in the back. Oh, that's a nice
Okay,
piece of
wise
material.
guy.
What's the matter with the one you got on?
I need some old clothes. Can you make me look like a tramp?
Can you imagine that? He wants to look like a tramp coming into my place. Listen, Sonny, I want you to understand this is a first-class establishment.
How much is that suit?
You want to rent or buy?
I want to
The,
buy.
the
Cash customer.
male
Why don't you
version
say
of
so in the
Sophia
first
from the
place?
Golden Girls. That is gonna take us to our second break. So we're 2/3 of the way through Bowery at Midnight. What do we think so far, Ed?
Man, I kind of hate to cut out. I kind of want to see more of this little suit maker guy.
Well, and Dogstar, you're right. That is a Bowery. So he's not a Bowery boy, but he's like the father of one of the Bowery boys, and he was in
Bowery
a lot of the
dad.
movies as like a soda jerk or like working at one of the like their hangout, like not the malt shop, but
Right,
that
yeah.
kind of thing, like the, you know, the
He's-
place that they
He's
go.
typecast as a guy with rolled up sleeves.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, you know, sleeves are, you know, fun, you know. In those movies, I think he's like maybe wearing a fun. I don't know. He I believe that's Bernard Gorcey. I think, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But his son was one of the Bowery boys. And so yeah, he's just in here as a little soup maker. So they threw him a bone. And yeah, fun little cameo.
Yeah.
Getting to make up this high society guy. Like he's doing a reverse Pretty Woman, right? He's taking this high society guy, making him look like a bum, right? Like kind of a, what is it? There's some kind of, isn't there like some old stories about a rich person dressing up like a poor person to exist. There's like a fairy tale or
Like
something.
fairy tales or something. Yeah, I think there's a few that are like that.
And then something bad happened.
It's usually like the poor beggar shows up and you know you don't like give them something, then something bad happens to you, or you give them something
Okay.
One of those kind of things.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know, you know, getting into class things. You know, you gotta love a Poverty Row movie that decides to start giving you a glimpse into like class struggles of the early 40s. This guy who's like telling his fiance, stop working at the soup kitchen, and I guess I don't know about real people because I grew up on a yacht. I don't know. It's insane how that character is like saying all that stuff, and then he's like, I've just realized I'm out of touch with normal people.
He's trying, okay? He's trying to learn.
He is. It's just pretty funny. It's pretty good, like dramatic shift in the other direction. I appreciate that.
You know, Lugosi's character must be like an excellent criminal if he's not only managing to do these crimes, but like he isn't developing a reputation as the guy who definitely always kills his henchmen and no one should ever work for.
Right. I love how the word hasn't gotten out yet, right? He's always can find a new guy. I mean, well, that's the soup kitchen. That's the point of the soup kitchen. He knows the criminals are going to come in, right? They're going to keep coming in his door. They got to get free soup from somewhere. I mean, come on.
Nothing's free.
Criminals not going to pass up anything free, dude. That's how you catch a criminal. You offer free things. But you better be on the lookout for some wanted people. I'm sure enough people saw him hurl that guy off the building that they could give a pretty solid description to the police. Looks like Dracula, but was wearing a fedora and a nice suit.
He looks like famous actor Bela Lugosi that exists in this universe.
In this universe. He looks just like on that Corpse Vanishes poster back there. I do love that. I mean, again, it is you know, a little fourth wall breaking moment. We had a like
a week for that
fifth wall breaking moment on Wednesday
breaking
with
down
our
all the
mini-sode.
walls.
Yeah, it was pretty outrageous. Our final Tale of Tomorrow, technically entitled The Window. And it was, if you haven't seen it, just go check it. Well, I shouldn't have said that. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But that was that was taking us to a whole other level of walls. So it's nice here to just be a little, you know, just a little Easter egg. If you saw it in the background, then, and if not, it's all right, because Lugosi he's been pretty ruthless this movie. I mean, chucking that guy off the building.
Yeah.
Great.
Monstrous.
Yeah.
You know.
He is cold-blooded.
He's laying it on a little thick, even.
He is a cold-blooded gangster in this movie, to be sure.
I don't think he had to kill that last guy. I think that was just because he wanted to.
He did. He looked like he was laughing about it. He looked like he was having way too much fun. Got him up there, got him. And then just grabbed him, like, grabbed him by the coat, grabbed him by the pants, whoop, off the side of the building. I mean, wild.
Who's gonna be next?
I feel like you almost can get away with a little bit more in a crime film than you can in a horror film, right? Because in a crime film, you can at least say that like crime will pay. You know, you're always going to have that, but you're keeping it in a realistic context. You're not getting like gruesome to the point of, you know, they're not like, you know, I mean, they're not doing anything too crazy, you know? I mean, they're staying pretty grounded so far. Yeah, Dog Star. I mean, that's the thing. It looked pretty busy out there when he did it, so I'm surprised he didn't land on any. Nope, no target. He literally just did it for funsies. That was it. That was the only. But you know, we were just talking about the Bowery Boys. Again, it's so funny because the Bowery Boys aren't in this. We've been talking about the Bowery Boys so much tonight. I should have shown Bowery Boys trailers. I thought about it, but I was like, oh, we won't talk about the Bowery Boys that much, and then here we are. The reason I bring it up is because one of the trailers we're going to see for this break is the other movie that Lugosi made with the East Side Kids. It's a trailer for a movie entitled Ghosts on the Loose. And yeah, it's different from the other ones.
So you got Spooks Run Wild and Ghosts on the Loose.
Right, exactly.
It's not just the same movie.
Surprisingly not. I think he's more of a bad guy in Ghosts on the Loose. And he is... That one came out 2 years after the other one. And it was a year after tonight's film. I believe 1943 was when that one came out. And I have not seen that one. But I'm sure it uses a lot of the same gags. I'm sure it doesn't stray too far from the formula. But the other trailers that we're going to see are for two other Lugosi Monogram movies, which we watched on the show. The second one is for The Ape Man, which classic. How can you forget Lugosi and that, you know, I mean, if it was the 60s, it would just be hippie makeup. Got the long hair and neck beard going on, and he's, you know, hunched around walking. He's having a good time. He's actually not. He actually looks the most miserable out of any of the Monogram movies. That's the one he looks the most Ape Man. And then the third trailer that we're gonna see is for Voodoo Man, which again, like I said, it's our lost episode. That's the one that it's actually not public domain. Oops. Yeah, oops, that's on me. That and one other Lugosi Monogram movie, Return of the Ape Man, they're not public domain. So we will. That's the thing. We'll get to watch 8 of the 9, even though we shouldn't have watched one of those. And then we won't watch Return of the Ape Man under copyright, unfortunately. So. But Lugosi's not an ape man in that. He's just maybe he's a gangster in that too. I don't know. I hadn't seen that. That was the last one though. But and Voodoo Man was the next to last one. Voodoo Man's a fun movie. We did enjoy Voodoo Man. Second episode, man. From 2 to 90. Look at that. Look at how far we've come. It's a wild journey. Yes, we're gonna enjoy these Lugosi Monogram trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Bowery at Midnight. So stick around, we'll be right back.
You stupid fool. How'd I know they were coming out here? I'll get rid of them, though.
What's the matter with you? That's just an echo.
Just an echo.
See that? What I tell you. There's nothing to be scared of.
That's what you think.
Well, boys, here we go again.
Wait for
I feel myself going back to the animal instinct. lock myself in there with him, fearing that I might do something terrible.
Billy! Billy!
Hello, yes, listen. A young girl just left here, alone.
Don't be frightened. We won't hurt you.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. I need you.
You need me?
Yes.
Possible.
Soup, or somebody said something about soup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they're in the soup kitchen.
This movie, tonight's movie.
Yeah,
really?
this one, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Did not know that. We're back. Sorry, we're kind of. Well, these are
Settling into
short
our
breaks.
chairs, yeah.
Not these trailers are not long, so it was like, this is stopping. I'll get my dog back in here, banging on the door, causing a ruckus like he does. Gotta love it.
Quoth the dog, nevermore.
Thought about doing that as my my
Tell your story.
final story of this season, but it's a little long. I kind of crunched for time, so found a shorter but very effective story. Which
Save that one for next time.
Excited, exactly. Save it for next season. But yeah, so those 3 trailers were some other Lugosi Monogram films that some we've seen, some we haven't seen. So, well, I guess Spooks or Ghosts on the Loose. But we'll get to see that and catch up on the other ones. So we're crossing another one off the list tonight. So far, so good. Having fun with it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty fun movie. So, I mean, to recap, we've got our criminal mastermind. He runs a soup kitchen, keeps killing his henchmen. We've got our intrepid cop, I guess the hero. He's chasing that promotion, chasing Lugosi.
Yeah.
Was he the one that is getting the clothes?
No, that was the college student.
Oh,
who's the fiance of the nurse,
right?
Who works in the soup kitchen.
Our other guy, is he the hero? I hope not.
Not sure. I hope not. It's either him or the cop. Maybe it's both of them. Maybe they end up teaming up.
Yeah, all 3 of these storylines.
They go all Death Wish 3 at the end, and they just start taking out all the criminals. Start blowing them away.
That's how he learned the psychology of the
right of the common man,
of the common people.
Yep, just getting into the thick of it. Well, we've got another little Lugosi. Say it again.
Tizandish?
Yeah. See, I don't even want to attempt it.
I don't even know if that's right. That's just how I'm saying
it. Sounds right. It sounds very good.
If we have any Hungarians in the audience, please confirm.
Lugosi, I'm sure, would be.
Trying, Bale.
Honoring the man. You're doing a good job. So yeah, gonna honor the man one more time before we get into the exciting conclusion of this.
Okay, you want to do this now?
Yeah. I mean, do you? Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo. Nice. It's good. Good. Well. I think. I mean, not much more of a recap. You know, we've got these heroes. Lugosi's killing his henchmen. I mean, is there anything else before we get into it, Evan?
It's kind of strikes me how tragic this this girl character is, who thinks that she's doing all this good, helping the needy, but she's just working for a murderous criminal.
Right. Yeah.
I guess those aren't mutually exclusive, but it kind of sucks.
Right. It definitely puts yeah. I could give you 100 scenarios about. Oh, I'm really proud of the work I did, but it was for this terrible person, so I don't know how I should feel about the work that I did. That's Hollywood, baby. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's definitely tragic. I 100% agree. It's funny. I didn't even think about it like that, but it's effective. Gets me right here. So we'll see how it works out for her. Hopefully, maybe she takes over the soup kitchen. You know?
Oh, yeah.
She starts making the soup.
She starts making the moves. She takes out Lugosi. She takes his place.
Maybe she's gonna ditch the privileged college boy and get with the hero cop. Ooh,
Yeah,
drama.
There you go. Got a love triangle. This
see.
movie's got everything.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm interested to see how it wraps up. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of our season 9 finale, Bowery at Midnight. Right now. She won't notice it.
You look really
Richard,
incognito.
What on earth are you doing
Oh, she
here?
got him.
Judy, you'll give me away.
Where did you get that suit?
I sold our yacht.
Is this your idea of a joke?
Look, Judy, I want you to help me. I'm going to write a term paper on the psychology of the underprivileged.
Underprivileged? Why don't you try the Millionaire Club?
I'm on the level, Judy. Remember what you said last night? I've been giving it a lot of thought.
Hey, you're holding up the line, buddy. We gotta get our soup here. Fucking guy. He really gave him the look, man. That was good. It was real. Oh, that guy on the far right.
What kind of people are letting in here nowadays?
He's the guy who popped up at the end of the Ape Man. I was
Hey,
like, I'm just the
look at
author
this.
of this story.
Not bad. Not bad at all. The Asterfelds announced the coming out of their daughter. Coming out. Coming out of what? Well, I guess they keep their kids locked up. What's the matter? You
Oh,
littering or
man.
something? Come on, let's get to a clean table.
It still works. Even today, you could apply it in a different context, and it's still funny.
Professor, what are you doing here?
I beg your pardon?
You mean to say that you're not Professor Brenner?
Brenner? I'm afraid you're mistaken, young man.
Brenner wears glasses, and I do not. Good day to you, sir.
He's gonna come back out with the glasses on.
Professor, I'd know you any place.
Coming. I see it is useless to try to deceive you, Mr. Dennison.
You must be here for the same reason I am, to do some research.
You're right. But I intended to keep it a secret until I am ready to reveal my findings.
Idiot. This
You
kid
don't
is
have to worry
so
about me, Professor.
dumb.
I can keep a secret.
He's not even
No
a
doubt
kid.
about that.
What did you bolt the door for?
Oh, so we will not be disturbed? You see, Mr. Dennison, I'm conducting this rescue mission for the purpose of studying men.
I'll bet you've gathered some wonderful material.
Indeed, I have. Would you like me to show you around?
That would be great, Professor.
Come.
You gonna kill this guy? He's gonna kill this guy because he recognized him.
This is my private office. Here you will find a world of valuable information.
I imagine I could.
But we'll go into that later. First, I would like you to meet some very interesting characters. Follow me.
How many bodies can they hide in the basement, though?
That's a good point. Well, arsenic and old lace rules will tell you 9 bodies, I think. 8? I don't know. They have a lot.
Mr. Mills, I want you to know Mr. Dennison.
Glad to know you.
This man is an interesting study in psychosis. I suppose you have never met a
I'm
homicidal
right
maniac
here.
before.
You mean he's a...
What are you talking about?
Ask Frankie some questions.
Well, I don't know where to begin.
Ask if it gives him pleasure to take human life.
This is intense.
Do you enjoy killing people?
Sure. They get in my way.
Come. Over here, you will see a perfect specimen of schizophrenia. Doc, get up. Would you like to question him?
I guess not.
I see you're losing your enthusiasm, Mr. Dennison. Perhaps I should ask you your own question.
What question?
The one you brought up this morning in the classroom. You see what fear does to one's memory? This morning you wanted to know what a man thinks about just before he dies.
That's unscientific. You said yourself you can't ask a dead man.
But you can ask yourself, Mr. Dennison.
You must be joking.
Frankie Mears doesn't joke. Do you, Frankie?
You can't be serious. This is like a crazy nightmare.
Think. You have 30 seconds to answer that question.
I'm getting out of here.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Dennison. Think.
Please, Professor.
What are you thinking?
You're mad. Insane.
All right, Frankie.
Don't!
God
Jeez.
dang, this is brutal, dude.
It's all yours, Doc.
Get to digging.
My God. I feel like I've seen this guy before. I don't have anything down on him, but I should have researched. I think
How
he's
are
in a
you,
Three
my pet?
Stooges short.
Hungry, eh? Well, you shall have food. And a new companion, too.
What?
Wait a second. What?
Hold on, hold it. I'm sorry.
Judy. Judy. Oh, what time is it? Well, it's only 9 o'clock. I woke you because Mrs. Dennison just phoned. Richard didn't come home last night, and the whole family is frantic. They thought perhaps you might have seen him. I did see him last night. Where? Your important Mr. Dennison came into the Mission last night, dressed like a tramp. Richard did that? Why, I can't believe it. Nevertheless, it's true. Well, I'll call her back.
Our
And you
Richard?
talk to her. I don't know why she's in such a dither. I meet dozens of men every night who've been missing for years. Nobody gets excited over them.
What?
Hello, Mrs. Dennison. This is Judy. I just wanted to tell you not to worry about Richard.
Yes, he was doing research in the Bowery last night.
Oh, Judy. The Bowery? Oh, how can you say he's all right in a place like
Clutch
that?
cheese, clutch your pearls.
possibly
That's what
have
I would have
anything down
directed her
there.
to do.
But I don't think that's necessary. Just a minute. She wants me to go to the police. Well, perhaps you'd better, dear. But it's so ridiculous. We'll do it just to make her feel better.
I go to the Bowery every day.
All right,
Nothing
Mrs.
bad ever
Lindsay.
happens to me.
I'll go.
Young Dennison explained why he came to the mission.
He said he was studying types, doing research work for a college thesis.
Tell me, Miss Malvern, how well do you know this fellow that runs the mission, Carl Wagner?
Quite well. Why do you ask?
Because Dennison and Frankie Mills were last seen in Wagner's mission.
Oh, but surely you don't suspect that Mr. Wagner had anything to do with their disappearance?
Well, I don't know, but I intend to find out.
Crawford, you better drop around and see Mr. Wagner right away.
Right.
He's there only at night.
Where is he during the day?
I really don't know.
But Captain Mitchell, couldn't something be done about it right away?
We're doing everything as humanly possible, Mrs. Dennison. Crawford, you better follow through on this case.
Yes, sir, and if it's all right, I'd like to take Thompson with me.
Good enough.
Thank you. Will you pardon me?
Of course.
What?
That him, lady?
No.
Why are we in the morgue right now?
Is this your card?
Is this your body?
No. Charlie. Why, Judy. Did you know him?
Yes, he was staying at the mission. What happened to him?
This one fell from a tall building
How dreadful.
across the street from a jewelry store just as it was being robbed.
On to the next body.
Anyway.
Here's another corpse for you to look at.
Pardon me, is this Professor Brenner's office?
Why, yes, it is.
May I see him?
Oh, I'm sorry, he isn't in. I believe he just left for home.
I wonder if you'd give me his home address.
Well, I can't give out that information.
I'm Detective Crawford from police headquarters. I wanted to talk to the professor about one of his students, Richard Dennison.
Oh, I see. Well, just a minute and I'll give it to you. Here you are.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, Thompson.
Oh, Professor, I thought you'd gone home. There were two men here to see you.
Nice.
Please.
Good timing.
Police?
Yes, they just left. I'll try and stop
Never
them.
mind. Did they say what they wanted?
They wanted to talk to you about Richard Dennison. I gave them your home address. Was that all right?
Yes. It's quite all right.
Mrs. Brenner,
Yes,
we'd like to talk to your husband.
he isn't home, but I'm expecting him any moment. Won't you please come in?
Well, yes, thank you.
They live in an apartment?
I'm Detective Crawford, and this is Detective Thompson.
Detective?
Oh, don't be alarmed. We merely want to question the professor about one of his students.
Oh, I see. Won't you please be seated?
Thank you.
Nice. Look at that.
Is this the professor?
Yes. A lovely picture, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
I'm sure he brought that from
Thompson.
home.
Where have you seen him before?
Why, that's Carl Wagner, down in the Bowery.
Or his double.
What are you saying?
Coming through the
Mrs.
side
Brenner,
door?
Have you ever had reason to suspect your husband of leading a double life?
That's ridiculous. My husband is a famed psychologist.
That's only the half of it. This man is also known as Carl Wagner, and he operates a mission in the Bowery, the one where Richard Dennison was last seen.
That explains its nightly absences from home. The expensive jewelry. And those horrible nightmares.
I'm, sorry, Mrs. Brenner, but we'll have to take you to headquarters for questioning.
I understand. I'm quite willing to go. I get my hat and coat.
Wow. Just turn on him real fast.
Just gonna run down the fire escape.
Yeah. Go, go, go. They're gonna go together.
Captain Mitchell, this is Pete Crawford. I'm at the Brenner home. You'd better prepare yourself for a thunderbolt. I've just discovered that Professor Brenner is none other than Carl Wagner of the Friendly Mission. That's right, and we're bringing Mrs. Brenner in for questioning. Yes, sir. Oh, Thompson, you'd better run her in. I think I'll stay here and pick up the professor.
It's taking long enough to get that code.
Oh, no.
Mrs. Brenner? Oh, Mrs. Brenner.
Did he? Oh, no. God. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself, man.
Wow.
Self-preservation.
I guess so if you're living a, like, triple life, you just figure, get another wife.
There,
Yeah.
I blitzed you again.
He's just going to start wearing all that jewelry himself. That was what it was. He was just...
Afternoon, Miss Judy.
Good afternoon, boy.
Getting to work kind of early, ain't you?
I have things to do.
I know, Kathy. I thought he loved her.
Well,
I'm
ma'am, I ain't.
shocked.
Yeah, sheesh.
Oh, she's going to start snooping.
Doc,
Hello, Miss Judy.
Doc.
what is this? Where did you come from?
I can't tell you that.
Why not?
Carl would kill me. You mustn't let him know you've even seen it.
Oh, don't be fantastic. Why, Carl wouldn't hurt anybody.
I know that. I mean, he just wouldn't like it.
Well, I'm your friend, Doc. You know you can trust me.
I know that, Miss Judy. And I want you to do me a favor.
I'll be glad to. If you show me what's behind that bookcase.
No, I mustn't. Carl wouldn't like it.
What was it you wanted me to do?
I want you to get a prescription filled for me. Will you? Right away? It comes in small bottles.
What do you want this for?
It's good for me. I'm a doctor. I know what's good for me.
If I get this filled, will you show me
Sounds
what's
like
in
he
there?
belongs in
If
Curious
you keep it a
Alice.
secret and get it for me right away.
All right. You stay here. I'll be right back.
What do you got?
He's already got the
Ah,
shakes.
that's another 1,000 I owe you.
That's 6 G's altogether you owe me.
What do you mean 6? 5. 6. 5.
Trying to make a liar out of me for a crummy thousand. Why, I'll take you and...
Will you do me a favor, please?
Sure, Miss Judy.
Run down to the drugstore and get this prescription filled.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, son.
I don't think they're going to give it to him.
Sorry to break up your game, but he'll be back soon.
Oh, that's all right. You just saved me $5,000.
I sent one of the boys after it. Come on now, open up.
Don't you ever tell a soul.
Folded.
Billy Gordon's Liquor Shop. See, instead of ABC stores, that's what we need. Somebody's liquor shop. Brutal. It's awful.
See? It's just a cellar. Let's go back now.
What's behind that door?
It's just a little closet where I keep brooms and things. It's only my cat.
But you can't keep it locked up like that.
Well, she likes it in there.
Don't be silly.
Don't go in.
She's crying, poor thing. Open the door.
I can't. You must go now, Miss Judy.
Not until you let the cat out.
No, no. You must go back.
You want that prescription filled, don't you?
Huh.
Oh no. Dennison. Why are the names?
Yeah, why are they labeled? Like, that's so extra. Those trophies, I guess.
This is horrible.
Remember, you must never say a word about this.
Oh. She's gonna run right into Lugosi. Hello. You just come from there?
Yeah.
Back in.
Why did you allow her to come down here?
It had nothing to do with it.
Keep quiet.
The police are right. You're a fiend. Richard Dennison did you no harm, and you kill him.
What do you propose to do about it? Here's a little surprise for you, Frank.
You didn't tell me the gal was in on this deal.
She is not. So you know what to do.
Nothing doing.
Don't tell me that you are getting sentimental.
Killing women ain't a part of my racket.
Do what you are told.
Why don't you let her alone? She didn't do anything.
Oh, shut up, you fool.
Bela Lugosi killed a woman like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, so he has the whole shield.
Outside. All right, you boys, clear out of here. Outside.
Police. Come, let's hurry. I know the very place for you to hide, where no one will ever find you. Come with me. I prepared this for just such an occasion. Miss Melvin.
Quick! They're down below.
Put him down in the cool pit.
What?
What an ending. What the heck?
Well, that takes care of the professor.
What?
I guess I'm getting another promotion.
And we'll be married.
This is above my pay grade.
Wow.
Do your social work anywhere but the Bowery.
Yes, Richard.
We'll have 6 kids, 3 boys and 3 girls.
He's alive?
Yes, Richard.
Come here. Can't you do anything besides say, yes, Richard?
Yes, Richard.
Okay.
Goodness. That was Bowery at Midnight, and yeah, so many twists and turns for sure.
For real.
What did we think, Evan?
I really enjoyed that one. That was so earlier we had maybe doubted whether or not we could call this horror, but this man had a pit full of zombies. This is definitely a horror
You think
movie.
so? Yeah, that's so. Again, that's another thing that they touch on in the book.
I don't
where
think
they're
you
like,
can just call this a crime movie if you have like a pit full of.
Yeah, they're like, a lot of people say with the zombie pit, you kind of have to call it horror. Some people just don't automatically call it horror because of that. And yeah, I mean, you can't not call it horror. It's definitely a horror ending, and it's the most diabolical that Lugosi is.
Yeah, this is the most villainous I think we've probably ever seen him, and
without a doubt, like almost sadistically so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't understand what was. I don't know how Richard, because yeah, it was a zombie pit, so I don't know how.
Yeah, what kind of doctor is he?
Well, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how Richard was a normal guy at the end. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
because he was probably down in the zombie pit. I mean, they didn't show him down there, but I mean, we saw him get shot.
There's a little hand waved there, but
yeah. But the zombie pit was. Yeah, I mean, that definitely like seals it.
What I want to know, so they were already in the basement, right? So what is there like a second basement? There's a sub basement that he tunneled down into. What was that space?
Yeah, it was probably they definitely didn't get permits to build that space for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a pretty you talk about just twists and turns in the plot, but twists and turns in this soup kitchen. My goodness.
Yeah, good grief.
All these secret passages. And
yeah, is it a soup kitchen or a gothic castle?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more like an old dark house than a soup kitchen for sure.
An old dark soup kitchen.
Yeah. But it's funny, like you say, like the end with the zombie, it got to be zombies. It definitely, like, it's pretty horrific. And the stills, the production stills are more horrific than the movie, because in the stills, Lugosi's like looking at the camera like, as these guys are coming out, and that's way cooler.
Yeah, I wish we got
what
that.
We saw. I thought that's what we were gonna see.
Yeah.
So I was a little underwhelmed.
Yeah, a little disappointed by that.
I had seen those stills of Lugosi looking really doing his thing.
We got some pretty brutal shots throughout this one. I mean, just the cold-blooded killings. It's really a shame. Yeah, I wish that we had gotten that last. I think that would have been the nice cherry
nice close
on top.
up. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't have that. But I mean, again, it's funny because this movie's just it's doing so much. It's trying to do so much, and it really does succeed, I think, for the most part. But it's funny the way that the marketing department for Monogram obviously had trouble figuring out, okay, how do we sell this? Obviously, it would be ideal if we could sell this as a horror movie, but can you really sell it as that? Well, they tried. So they kind of played up Lugosi's role in the horror community at the time because Lugosi was busy. As soon as when he finished this, the same month, 20 days after production started, he traveled to Chicago to begin a stage revival of Dracula that was supposed to be on an indefinite run. And he could leave whenever he wanted to go make a Monogram movie. But he was like, this was his big return to the role of Dracula and on the stage. And so that the premiere of that coincided with the premiere of tonight's movie. So it was the marketing department really tried to kind of play up, Lugosi's really busy right now. And he was also doing personal appearances. So between the stage performances of Dracula, this movie, and his personal appearances, they were calling him a triple threat. And according to the book, it says that the press book referred to him, I don't know how I feel about this, as their triple threat terrorist. Obviously today that has a different context, but it just doesn't.
I make horror movies. I'm a terrorist.
I didn't look it up because I knew you don't Google the word terrorist. So I looked up Lugosi triple threat, nothing. So, but in the book, that's what it said, that the press book for this movie said. And it was also quoted as taking a politely subtle dig at Karloff by saying, and it was referring to the fact that Karloff was in a movie or in a stage production at the time called Arsenic and Old Lace, which was also about bodies being buried in a cellar.
Okay.
And Karloff plays a pistache of himself. It's the one where characters say, "Oh, he looks like Boris Karloff," and then it's Boris Karloff. He had like a very long run on the stage playing that part, so he was out of the movies. He was just out. So the press book says, with Boris Karloff confining his talents to stage work, the A1 horror man of the films is now Bela Lugosi. So you gotta love that. Like, and I mean, yeah, like Karloff was really not trying. He was trying to kind of distance himself a little bit from the horror roles, whereas Lugosi was just, he had accepted it.
That was his bread and butter.
Karloff had given up on Frankenstein. Lugosi was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play Igor." And then the year after tonight's movie, he played Frankenstein's monster. You know, like, I mean, that's the thing. Lugosi, I mean, the year after tonight's movie, he had that. He also had Return of the Vampire, which was it wasn't a Dracula sequel, but it's kind of like played like a Dracula sequel, just from a different studio. So like this was Lugosi's like mid-career resurgence that we got to see tonight. So it was, it's always good to see when he's at a good point in his life and career. He's doing well. He's having fun. And he was, at his most diabolical this evening. So that is always a treat. And a great way to end the season, I think.
I think so. Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, it really was. And so that's a cap on season 9. That's it. That's
a wrap.
That's
season 9.
90 episodes and 10 episodes for this season, and we've had it all. We've had some sci-fi, we've had some old dark house, we've had some we've had everything. We've had it all. It's been a fun season, and now we take a little bit of a break. We won't be broadcasting live next week with our minisodes or features, but we're gonna be gearing up for the return of the Summer of Schlock.
Yeah.
And of course that's gonna start in 2 Fridays from now, so that's gonna be May 17th. And we'll officially, even though summer won't officially be starting, we'll be officially taking summer off on the 17th.
Sandals are going to be on.
Tank tops probably. We're going to be doing it up. It's going to be great.
We'll be back that Wednesday as well, right?
With our minisodes, yes. And I think I know what we'll be doing for our minisodes. I could go ahead and tell, or I could keep. I'll go ahead and tell. We're going to be watching a sci-fi Western serial entitled The Phantom M. It can't be the Phantom Empire. It's the Phantom something.
Okay. The Phantom Cowboy.
Yeah. It's interesting. It'll be a nice like cross section between like Undersea Kingdom and more westerny type of thing. So it'll be good. We're getting back to serials,
All
and
right,
then
be back in the saddle.
and then of course Summer of Schlock. It's very pretty self-explanatory. But our first movie will be we'll be hanging out with an Ed Wood compatriot. It won't be an Ed Wood movie, but it will have a Ed Wood star. Should I?
Sure. What is it?
So it is a notorious sci-fi horror film entitled "The Beast of Yucca Flats."
Okay.
And it stars Tor Johnson as
Oh.
the Beast of Yucca Flats. So it's under an hour long. It's a short movie. So and it's I believe like many of the movies that we'll watch during this Summer of Schlock, like last time Summer of Schlock, movies that have been featured on Mystery Science Theater. So that's this one apparently is one of their like all-time. This movie's pretty bad.
Okay, it was sweet. We got some schlocky movies to look forward to.
Yeah, get ready for it. It's gonna be fun in the sun, and we're gonna be having fun all summer long. So very excited for that. So until then, enjoy your break. I mean, we'll be on a break, but every week it's always good for everybody to take a little bit of break, right? So but you can always catch up on any of our past episodes over on our YouTube page at Screamstream Live. Of course, all of our Saturday night shockers, our animation spooktaculars, playlists, our spine tingling tales, all that good stuff on our YouTube page. So check that out, like and subscribe. There's so much stuff over there. So if you're really missing us, you can find us. Don't worry. We won't be live, but we will be. Our content is plentiful. So please, we've done again, 90 movies. You can, if there's probably one that you like that you didn't know that we've covered, go and look for it. We've done it. We've done a lot. So many movies Evan probably never guessed he would see. Never even.
Definitely not.
No, it's he's got to give it up to Evan this season for just and all the wonderful cocktails you brought us this season.
Thank you.
They were delicious. Gotta of course everybody's got to really prepare yourselves for what Evan's gonna bring next season with the cocktails. He's gonna be.
That's right. We'll be having the triumphant return of Schlocktail Hour, where I just go nuts. So who knows what it's gonna be?
Get ready for it. You can't get ready for it. I don't think our minds, even my mind, we won't be able to comprehend what Evan's gonna do. He's gonna turn into a mad scientist. So it's always fun to see. So of course, if you want to follow our socials, we're on TikTok and X and Instagram at Screamstream Show. We're also on Twitch at Screamstream Show. When we come back, of course, be advertising all that on the socials and the first cocktail of the season, all that good stuff. You can find that always on the socials. And we just, we really appreciate everybody's support this season. Everybody tuned in and got in on the chat. Kathy tonight, thanks so much. Dogstar, and just all season the support has been great. We've continued to grow and this community is really thriving.
Yeah, it really means a lot to us to have everybody here in the chat and watching and playing along. It makes the experience a lot more fun for everybody.
It absolutely does. It is the fun. Like and that was the whole point of this show, is that we enjoy these movies together, and that we, kind of just get to cut loose, make jokes, and have fun. It's all about just having a good time. The more the merrier. So we really appreciate everybody that's tuned in and chatted, and we'll just continue the the public domain spirit. I mean, it's I mean, I don't know. I don't know if many people have gone this far in the public domain horror realm. I don't know if they got 90 movies in. So
we've drilled pretty deep.
We have, and rest assured, we're gonna keep it going. We haven't again, the pinnacle, the cream of the crop is Night of the Living Dead, and I'm gonna wait to show that as long as I possibly can. I'm gonna. We're never, gonna be ready to do justice for that. So we're gonna take this break, and that's right, Kathy, season 10, the big double digits. So we're very excited to get back and have fun with Kathy and Dogstar and all of our friends that have been making the Scream Stream a good time throughout the years, because it's been years. We're going to be keeping it going for hopefully at least a few years more. So, anything else before we sign off for the season?
So what I want to know is, if this guy was being a professor during the day, running a soup kitchen in the evening, and being a criminal mastermind at night, when was he sleeping? This guy was on the grind.
On the grind and a lot of amphetamines, probably.
That's why he was so crazy and murderous. He just needed a nap.
That's right. Nap and probably some like detoxification. He was definitely hopped up on. Well, until next season, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.